Yeah, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Okay.
At least I got to do your tones before.
Alright, now I gotta find us. Alright. Come on. Ah, here we go. Alright, now I gotta find us. Oh, I sound robotic. Alright. Hello, Jessica. Just sharing the video out, getting ready. Show starts in about 5 minutes, honey. So everybody's got time for a body call.
4 minutes until showtime.
Not that one. Let's see.
I'm not sure. Are you coming back up?
We're live, but nobody can see us yet. I'm sharing the video out first.
What video?
The video, the live video.
Oh, okay. Come on. Oh, my head is spinning.
3
oh,
minutes
they're both there.
until showtime.
You see the cat?
No, I'm still sharing the video out, so I don't see anything yet.
Oh.
Because every time I click on share the video, you go behind the scenes. So. Well, thank you very much, honey. Alright, we got...
Am I supposed to... Oh, my dog wants me to do tones.
Hi, Ashley. Alright, let's... Oh, wrong one.
You see me yet?
The glasses and you can finally see.
I know.
Fast.
Are you still sharing?
Yeah, I'm still sharing. Hold on a sec.
2 minutes until showtime.
Alright, there we go.
You want me to do tones on you, sugar?
Alright, almost time, I Sue.
Sorry, I had to sing the dog. She was staring at me.
Alright, I'm gonna transition us over so people can see us. Alright. We should be coming up any second. There we go. Oh, there we go. That was me. Alright.
1 minute until showtime.
1 minute. That's 2. 1. Oh.
Got my animals with me. Okay.
I got my pen and paper, so this way I can write down names in case anybody
What's
asks
your
questions.
background screen?
I use like a mystical background for us. I think I got rainbows. Hold on. Let me find out. Yeah, I've got the rainbow thing at the fort.
Yeah, it's funny with the Photoshop that you did in my my executive director or whatever you call
Your
it.
show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
is Susan Swanbeck, CEO of the A2 Network. This work is protected by Creative Commons licensing. Awakening the Unknown is proud to present Healing Sundays with a combination of two internationally known experts in their field. Board-certified holistic counselor, Reiki master teacher, Reverend, certified professionally and scientifically as a true empath and clairvoyant, internationally multi-dimensional healer, expert toning, reading on humans as well as pets. So please welcome Susan Swanbeck and Marcy Kosich. Healing Sunday, every Sunday. Don't miss it.
Why are you doing, everybody? Guess what? I got new glasses. I can see what you're writing now. I'm so excited about this. So, I mean, I had a lot of help in the chat room. Everybody trying to help me out because I literally could not see anything. So, for those of you that don't know, I am actually legally blind in one eye, this one. So, when this eye gets strained, I have to increase the vision of the glasses. So, you know, I wanted to start the show off with personal experience right now, and it has a lot to do with, and Marcy's going to be shocked about this. This is what they told me to do, so it's something
Hey,
that
I
has
just
to
saw
do.
the flow.
Yeah, so it's Thanksgiving is coming up. Hey, Steph, if you see the name Jason Stephanie, we're going to get you your own profile, Steph. She is the network, she is the promotional director, so if we miss anybody, or if anybody has a question and needs help, she's right there to remind me to go back to the screen and read it. So she's always there helping out. Alright, now, Thanksgiving is approaching. Now, a lot of us have, like, big families and big things, but some of us out there don't have the bigness of family, and I thought it was because this is... Exactly. I thought because this was Healing Sunday, I thought it would be a good idea to maybe share a little bit more of myself and what I'm going through right now. For some reason, I don't know who's supposed to hear this, but I know I'm supposed to tell you guys. That's all I know. So we're going to start it off with there. And, you know, like I said, there's, hello, Kala, there's a lot of people out there that don't have, like, friends or family or places to go, and it does create a bit of a psychological issue that will bring you down, especially with Mercury in retrograde right now, or coming into it. It's not really going to be anything that's very pleasant. Now, me, myself, for those of you that don't know, Marcy does, of course, I'm a widow. Now, I'm moving out of the house I've lived with my husband for many years. So, and I'm downsizing to a 2-bedroom with me and my son. So, my daughter, for the first time, who's 22, is moving out. My married son moved out yesterday. So, yeah, it's a little psychologically depressing is what happens. And what I don't want is I want you guys out there to understand that you're not alone. Now, these are things that I'm going through. I'm leaving the memories and trying to build the new ones and trying to retain the positive of the situation of what's occurring, and trying to look at it like it's a growth period. But then you're going to have that fallback. You're going to fall back like it's not a growth period. So what happens is you start to withdraw. Some can become physically sick or not feel good. Now, Marcy herself also only has her son on Thanksgiving. So for us, we understand what it's like not to have that big family. And I wanted you guys to know if you need to reach out and just, you know, need a little help today. That's Healing Sundays is about many aspects of it, you know, and we personally both understand what it is that you guys are actually going to go through. You know, me, my animals got me through, and when I move, and that's what I chose. I have the dog. His name is Otis. I'll show you a picture of him. He's really cute. Loves cats. But I don't get him until I move because I wanted something new and positive at the new apartment. So that was my choice to wait. So that's how I chose to take the negative situation and move it into something positive. So I figured if I could share what it is that I'm personally going through, coming close to the holidays, moving, leaving here, and everything else that's going on, maybe you guys could look to something positive as well. I mean, if you see a homeless guy, don't really give him money. Make a plate of food, give it to him. Give him a plate of food.
Food. I mean, I've given food to
Yep.
this guy. I ended up getting some extra pizza one time with Travis, and there was a guy that was underneath like the bridge or the freeway, and it was like we stopped, we gave it to him, and my ex, Mike, which is Mac in my book, because he'd been on his own since he was 12, he had taught me a lot of stuff about giving.
Yes.
And one of the stories, so there's been some good and bad, that's what they were saying in the story with him. I had some extra pizza in Berkeley, and I was going to put the extra piece on top of the garbage,
right.
You know, because every 5 seconds I was seeing the homeless go through it, and it's just sad that stores can't give their food away.
Right.
You know, they throw away tons and tons of croissants and whatever it is, and they're always worried about legal. So he's like, go up and give her the piece of pizza. And it was a little old lady, and just a look on her face was this ecstasy as far as, you know, just that somebody actually made that point to go up and give it to them. And I've done that a couple of times. And I've taught my son that we throw things away, and he's like, I'll go throw it in the dumpster. I said, no, go put it by the dumpster, because those people that have the dumpsters are, and then the stuff disappears. Whether we might have an old pair of tennis shoes that we don't use or clothes, but they can use it, you know. And I lived in a homeless shelter for 6 months, and that experience, and these are all in my book as far as my daughter was 4. I was never allowed to go stay at my parents' house for 20 years. There was one time I did spend the night. My dad said, well, when are you leaving? So I've lived in the car. I've been homeless. I've been all these different things that are going on, and been teaching my son as far as giving back, as far as what's going on. So I've been at the other end and been alone and the whole thing on that. My son and I, it's funny because we've had so many different experiences, so many different people, or lack of people through the years. It's like every year we have a different Thanksgiving. Last year I had money, we spent it, we were going to go to the Grand Sierra, and you know, we had money, and I wanted to show my son the long line at the thing, and it was like out the door. So we ended up going to Rail City. I ended up having coupons, so it was Travis and I on a buffet at Rail City.
Right.
Another time, and my friend Christine and I were reconnected. So with my food stamps, Christine, it's all part of the family. Her daughter was like best friends with my daughter, you know, and so we're back to reconnecting. And Christine is Italian, so she loves to cook. She works 2 jobs. She works very hard. Hi, Christine, if you're listening. And so we went shopping, and so her fiance is going to cook the turkey. He's got to work on Thanksgiving. My son got a job at Boston Market.
Right.
He didn't have to work on Thanksgiving. I'm not sure how we're going to work all that, but it's just been interesting where we have experiences that are different.
Exactly. I mean, I totally understand that, because for the first year in many years, Thanksgiving dinner won't be at my house. I'm in the middle of packing. So, and the last year, just to let everybody know the state of mind, my husband, and again, it's okay to laugh at this, because it's what makes the kids laugh. The last year that he was alive, he took, like, the pieces of everything he wanted, and then he grabbed a spatula and dug into his mashed potatoes. There's actually a picture of it on Facebook. I couldn't help it. It made me laugh. Because he's sick and he's worried about eating, so he's shoveling food in his mouth with a bloody spatula. So, but I have this tradition. It's a very strange tradition to most, and I've done this for years. I've always, when I'm done with dinner, I always make 2 plates of food. And I go to my father's gravestone, which I know there's homeless people around there, and I leave one on his gravestone. I don't know why I do, it's just something I do. I even leave him his favorite Halloween candy, which is Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And then the first person I see that's usually homeless, that's the one that gets the other Thanksgiving dinner. So if you guys could just, honestly, it's not about giving or giving money, it's just, because there are a lot of scammers out there right now. It's just sharing a piece of your heart with somebody else. And that's what I think I'm asking for this year for all the listeners out there, as a part of, you know, Healing Sunday and everything everybody's been through. I've been through, Marcy's been through, our listeners have been through. I think sharing a piece of yourself, just even a small part of yourself, is something you've created, or, you know, you've made a homemade dessert. You put your heart into that. You made the turkey. You put your heart into that. You know, literally, get some leftovers. Share a plate.
Susan, I want to tell another story about with Mike. Again, these are lessons that I had to learn. My dad had died, and my sister was the executor, the trustee. And we were at the Serbian church that I was brought up with, and I guess my grandfather had started. I didn't know my sister was president, but she's very dichotomy. I call her my narcissistic nemesis, because she is so opposite of me. And there was a bag of a seafood salad, and Mike goes, well, what are you going to do with that? She's like, well, we're going to throw it away. And he's like, no, you're not. He got a big plastic bag, and he put all the seafood salad in there, and he physically went and fed the homeless. Now, my sister, I guess, felt embarrassed, or whatever it is that her mentality is. And there was a whole plate of food that our family had paid for. I had a plate of food to go home. And this is how ridiculous people are. And I tell the story, and this, like, so people will understand the mentality I grew up with my family. At that point, I didn't know she was my trustee. My father just died. Well, I had a plate to go home, and she in front of her friends, because people will act differently in front of crowds compared to by yourself. So they'll be really nice to you, but if there's crowds, sometimes people will switch their personality, or they will become mean, or they will become greedy. So watch people on when you're alone with them, or watch them with the crowds, because they want up people or whatever's going on. So she made me give back a piece of cake. I had a cake on my thing, and you're at a funeral. There's nothing you can do. You can't start anything because there's a crowd of people that are there. So the only thing you could do is, so, you know, there were like 2 or 3 people behind her. She puts her hand out to, like, give me the piece of cake. And it's just, some people just are so self-centered as far as their reality,
right,
that they don't look at the consequence. So I submitted, and I gave her the cake to not cause any conflict of what was going on, even though I had my daughter to feed. I was barely making it, whatever's going on. So you'll hear, like with my book, I know a few of you bought it, and I'm glad that you bought it. You understand these stories, and this is what I'm saying, and this is why I wrote my book, and Susan and I are doing what we're doing, because we get in these situations that we feel powerless. You know, right now, it's like I tried to go for unemployment, and my boss said that it was accepted, and then a week later, I don't know what happened. She lied, and I got this letter saying you're denied your unemployment. So I got this feeling of, again, depression is powerlessness. So I'm now fighting it because I have no car. You know, my dishwasher's broken. I'm living very much like I feel like one of the woods people, you know, back from the 1800s. But it's fighting the depression. Susan's got her stuff. She's got her emotional issues. She's moving out of a house that her family grew up with. But we go forward.
Yes,
and we
exactly.
Give love.
And that's what it is. And the thing is that you guys are not alone. So, and I know it's really difficult to make new traditions sometimes with everything Marcy's been through and my emotional state. And, you know, I do have a lot of personal financial situations, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. That's who I am. But,
me too.
Yeah, it's difficult. But, and again, this is the thing. You guys aren't alone. If you need to get this out of your system, I want you to tell us here. I want you to call us. I want you to write in. And I want you to tell us about what it is you're going through. You guys are not alone. So it's not just all about healing in general, because yes, it is healing, but sometimes you have to share verbally as well. And then we always have Marcy with the tones as well, which I know is extremely powerful. By the way, she sounds like a singing bowl now, so that's pretty cool. But I wanted to read to you what Ashley Lynn wrote. So
Okay.
Ashley Lynn wrote, she says, my traditions has changed over the years so much. So much has, well, that she lost her mother 2 days after Thanksgiving in 2011. And I do understand that, and I'm sorry for your loss. So now her family doesn't like to celebrate Thanksgiving. And it's so hard that I want to be happy and to be thankful every year this time of the year for me. And I understand that. It is very difficult because, like last night, in another situation, my daughter last night was very upset and crying, and she's the one that, because we're leaving the house, and this was my husband's favorite time of the year. You know, he raised Bo and Desi. Joseph is his, and I don't care who knows. He was the world's greatest. He wasn't a stepfather. He was their father. He was their father, and he did a very good job raising them. And it's heartbreaking for them at this time of the year. And now that I'm moving, it's bringing up some issues, and it's scary and it's an adventure all at the same time. So, literally, again, thank you so much for sharing your story. I mean, this is what we're talking about. We're all not alone. Healing Sundays between Marcy and I was built and something that we both designed to do because we've been at the lowest point in our lives, both of us. We have been, literally, I was almost homeless. I ran into someone by chance. I know what it's like, and if it wasn't for Section 8, I wouldn't have a place to live. And these are all things people don't know, but you know what? You guys aren't alone. I want you to tell us what's going on, and it's really, really difficult, but you know what? We're here. We're here to help.
Well, Susan, I want to say a couple of things. One, it's like, we're calling this Friendsgiving because it is.
Yep.
It's friends getting together. And we've had situations where one of our friends was down and there was a misunderstanding, and we pulled together. We brought her back up because somebody could say something negative and it not only affects them, it affects their family. So
Yes.
her husband was happy that we had pulled together because he has a heart problem, and we took on the thing to bring her back. So he didn't have to take the burden of, because he loves her so much, to taking care of her. And I listen to Abraham a lot. You guys should listen to him. Abraham Hicks. And he says we have the spectrum. And this is what happened to me last week. This is probably what's happening with Susan. He says there's a spectrum from bliss to depression. The depression is a feeling of powerlessness. And if we get to the next spectrum of anger, we're at least fighting.
Yes.
We're fighting that energy. We're fighting that. Instead of that crawling up in a ball, I had to fight myself because I had done everything doing the home health possibly. I didn't get time and a half. I had to pay for my own gas. There would be sometimes 20 hours. And I had to fight for unemployment because my boss, who I thought was working with me, who's got 6 kids and the whole thing like that, all of a sudden decided and lied and said, I refuse to take the bus. And so now I have to fight another month as to what little money I have, what little money Susan has, and getting that energy together to pull and fight that energy, get that warrior energy going on.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, if you feel angry, Abraham says it's good. That shows you are getting out of your depression. People may not like it. Screw them. You know, and behind the anger is frustration, sadness, fear. Once we own those angers, you know, and that's why I had to push myself to get out and do whatever's going on. Susan's got to push herself out. So,
Yeah,
you know,
but this is the thing. We take the negatives and turn it into the positives. I'm sorry about the loss of your brother, honey. And it is really difficult to deal with the loss over the holidays. So I literally was determined to teach myself how to knit. Why? Because this way, when I'm a grandmother, I can be like the typical obnoxious grandmother, knit everything and give it to just something I want to do, because to me, something homemade comes from the heart. So when I start to get stressed, I mean, literally, I called Michelle and was like, Michelle, I want to learn how to knit. So between my daughter and Michelle, they taught me, and now I've got this, every time I'm stressed, I pick up the knit needles. So my son's moving out, so instead of crying, I did it. So it went this long from yesterday So I've learned to, and it's the most difficult thing to do is to take something, a negative situation, and try to turn it into positive. And it really is. Now, Marcy and I decided to take our negative situations and make a show. Because
and the fact you guys are right in, and also they've had studies that, I guess maybe that's what kept me sane as a child with the abuse with my sisters. And it's so funny because Susan picked up one sister that said she was bipolar and schizophrenic. That's what she picked up, I don't know, several months ago. She goes, you never know what, and I noticed she's trustee. She's the one that made me give the cake back. And so I know my sister. And the other sister, she goes, because we were talking about cars, and she goes, RV. Somebody that always dyes their hair. Somebody that's really, really arrogant.
Vain.
Really, really arrogant.
Very vain, yeah.
But she thinks she's spiritual.
Yeah.
And I go, that's my other sister. And then I watch Susan's expression on my two sisters. And it's like, you got the feeling you want to slap her. I'm like, all the time. And that's why I cut her off. When I wrote my third book, and I was telling her about it. It was my birthday. And I was trying to have some type of family for my children. And as you were talking about different families, this is a new normal. My daughter took me to court with this other woman that literally grew my daughter.
Right.
My daughter's not ready to give birth. And,
Excuse me.
I'm not a grandmother.
I burped up coffee.
No, you're releasing.
Yeah.
So, it's just, my new normal is I haven't had my daughter for 8 years. She's about ready to give birth. In my mind, I'm not a grandmother. You changed her name. So you talk about the loss to your brother. I had to fight on another level. It's like every time I go through something, I had to fight with my father, then my sister, and then my daughter, and now we're dealing with the unemployment stuff. Just let it out, Susan. We're going to do some tones to let that energy out.
Oh, definitely. Here we go. There's another one, and this is a good example. A very good example because it brings up situations that everybody has done. When somebody passes around the holidays, and again, this is from Shaylin, it's very difficult for her to actually cook because what it is you're trying to do, and I've done the same thing. The first year my grandmother passed, I tried to make her poppy seed rolls for Christmas. I couldn't do it right. They weren't as good as hers. And that's the mindset. I couldn't put that out there for the family, which I tried to do. And then, well, my kids, nope, not allowed to cook Thanksgiving anymore. Because I'm not a very good turkey cook. So I made the turkey the way, at least I thought it was the way my husband made it. But yeah, no, didn't work. And I tried, and I just keep putting it out there. Like I wanted to do it exactly the way he did. Because that was his holiday that he cooked and I made Christmas. So, yeah, you'll cry, you'll get upset. I mean, it's really difficult sometimes to try to copy a recipe that a loved one made, but that's natural. I've mastered the poppy seed rolls now. I have no issue with them. But when you're first trying to do that, it is going to bring up tears, and that's what we're getting in the chat room right now. I am so sorry about your stepson, too. Welcome aboard, Julie. She's a newbie. I'd like to say hi. So, is there some type of a tone that we can help these people to help them move forward?
I feel Mother Mary behind me, and that unconditional love. And so, and the thing that's funny with Susan is Susan's always talking about baking stuff. I'm like, you're always making me hungry. She goes, well, my parents owned a bakery, So she's always like, so she knows how to cook and bake and the whole thing on that. But you guys got to remember, if you're forgetting things, like when I did the radio show with, on one of the radio shows, and they're like, oh, there's something mentally wrong with me. I lose my memory. Literally, when you're stressed out, the cortisol in your brain takes away your memory. It shrinks your brain. So there's nothing wrong with you if you're forgetting. And that's why I felt that the things were wrong with me growing up, because I was told I was stupid. I don't think. I was a pig. This is what I was brought up. And then, my friend Louisa that's in my book, and I'm still really good friends with her, she goes, you're always repeating yourself. There's a really, really good book that I read. It's called Working with Emotional IQ. And what it says, it talks about the cortisol in our brain. It literally shrinks us. And so it's like, oh, it wasn't me. It was the cortisol that took away my memory. All right, I'm going to hit the tones. I'm being told we're going to double whammy. I've got my 10-count crystal. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, but I love how it's like right at my table now.
I got mine here.
All right, so yeah, we're going to double whammy. And you guys remember I've got all my mirrors around me, and the mirrors are going to reflect off the energy that was going on, and so we're double whamming the energy.
I'm going to send.
What?
I'm sending right now. Because I think not just me, a lot of people out there need a little healing light toning. So I'm going to send.
All right. Well, and that's why I said everything can relate what's going on. Because I knew they were here. I knew it was like really strong. I knew it was going to be a powerful show. You know. I heard that one, Susan. And another thing I wanted is for all you awakened souls, because I was the lost child, I was the one that had to rescue, I was the one that had to be the funny one, and I had to be the adult one. And that's what Susan and I were brought up with, is to be the adult children, and we weren't allowed to be the children. I mean, I was in certain ways, but it's the awakened children or the awakened family that are most ostracized from the family. And that seemed to make sense. You know, both of my sisters I don't talk to. My daughter, when she was 15, this woman groomed her. Just my daughter decided I didn't give her enough when I spent, you know, $200 on this one party, bought her $5 lattes. But in her mind, you know, I didn't give her enough, and she's carrying around this grudge. That's their reality. Do not take their reality personally. That's their choices.
Exactly.
And I warned over my daughter that I gave birth to, and that literally went to court, and the woman manipulated the judge, and I wasn't allowed to give my information. And that's their reality. So if my daughter comes back in my life, I've got to start all over again. You know, it is what it is. To me, it's like almost, I've done so much healing on it. It's like almost like a past life that I had her. I have photos with her. I'm ready if, you know, if she wants to come back in my life.
Right.
But she's coming off on Facebook. So you cannot take these people's reality personally. You may mirror them that they do not want to see. You know, if you're clear and awakened,
right,
that lower 3D energy.
Now,
so if you guys are feeling ashamed, guilt, that's what we did with a friend of ours, you know, this week. I'm ashamed. I did this. No, you didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
It was the other person that did it. And so we had I spent an hour with her building her back up. This is not your reality. Do not feel shame or guilt. Shame is like something you feel like you were born with. That's what I was born with. My dad literally told me I was a fuck up. I always have been. I always will be.
Right.
You know?
Now, Julia Costa wrote in that Julia Costa, she wrote in she lost her stepson 3 years ago, and it's been the holidays have been very devastating to her so far. And coming from personal experience, that's something that takes time.
Yeah, I mean,
it does.
It's been 8 years. I've had to go through different. I mean, like when I first lost my daughter on, you know, on our birthday, it was like I had a celebration with my friends. Christine is one of them because her daughter was best friends, and that's who we're spending Thanksgiving with. And you got to look at it as a new normal. You got to start living your life. You can't start being sad for what happened with these people, you know, and work through it. We'll help you work through it so you can start living again, because you're going to spend the next 20 or 30 years over what happened.
Yeah. literally everything everybody's been through takes time to actually to heal, to go through this, through the loss, through whether it's physically losing someone who has passed or losing someone who decided not to be around anymore. Either way, it's still a loss the way that you look at it psychologically. So it's a difficult situation, but we gotta find a way to raise this vibration of this page. Yeah, let's rise up.
You guys gotta mourn. If you feel guilt, release the guilt from sadness and fear. I'm sure that the people that have passed would not want you to live like this. My boss, I found out we had parallels, and she was a mother of 6 kids, and her husband had also a son. The son died 5 years ago. And her sister, she says, actually does the type of readings. I'm not sure what type of stuff that she does. But the son that had passed showed up. And this is an example of what's going on as to, I go, he has somebody with brown hair, you know, and she goes, yeah, that's my stepson. I go, he likes chocolate. And, you know, it was like she was dropping me off. It was like a 2-minute reading. And they will show up sometimes, and I think he wanted her to release him.
Right.
So, and that's what they'll do. They will come to us to help because they're stuck on the spiritual plane until we release them. Susan had to release her mother, you know.
My mother? My grandmother.
My mother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your mother. Got a little confused there.
I know, my mother. Because of the mistake she had made with my other sister, the one that made me take the cake. Because of the last 20 years of the mind manipulation, whatever it is going on. So it was like he likes cake. And then he showed me a flash of her making a batter and making brownies and in the bowl. She goes, every day on his birthday, we get to gather. So still 5 years later, they're still doing a morning thing with him.
Right.
You know, and so your help, it's like to help releasing them helps them also. They are still trapped until we let them go. And these people, like this other lady that lived in my house, I let her live with her daughter. Her daughter I talked to on a weekend, and then the next, like 3 days later, she got in a car wreck and she died.
Right.
And I let her live with me. These are one of my stories on what was going on. She carried around, you know, her daughter's ashes in a box. And remember, Christmas, they had the room. Mike carried his mother around with, you know, the cremation and stuff.
Right.
And so it doesn't help them. And that's why they come to us to help so they go on the other side like Susan.
Yes, but some people, I still actually have a heart with my husband's ashes in it. And sometimes if I need a little strength, to me, that helps me. Right. You know, it's like, okay, I need to build myself up a little bit and get through this. So if I have them there, it's like I still have a part of him with me, even though I know he's in my heart. I can actually move forward is what I can. Now, Julia Costa, I don't know if you're getting anything on this, but I'm just getting over a cold, people. Bear with me, even though I can see. That's a good thing now. I can read the comments. She says they still do not know how her stepson passed. He passed 3 years ago. So, and again, I'm a little blocked from a head cold, so I'm not picking up anything.
I'm seeing some type of stabbing in the lower back. But this is more for private readings, because a lot of times they will come forth on private readings, but they won't come forth on these public ones. Yeah. And to go deep into the energy of what's been going on. I've picked up spirits that have died, you know, energies that are happening on. But I just keep on seeing, like, almost being conked out or falling on the floor.
Right.
A car, like a silver car. And this is, I guess, what he's showing me. Oh, and then he's like, I sent her here. And that's what they do. You know, they send us to people. And then I'm seeing some type of stabbing in the lower back, and the person driving off of the silver gray car in some type of field or dirt road or something. I'm going to hit another low tone because I can feel all you guys' energies. And this is what we want to do. We want you to release. We want you to live. You're not living if you're carrying over this sadness. I could be sitting there and be mourning over my daughter. And, you know, what could have, should have, would have been.
Yeah.
And I have friends that are therapists and whatever is going on. And it's like, this is not your fault, Marcy. You've done everything you could.
Yeah. Some losses are just, everybody's loss is different. I want to let you guys know that. So it affects people in a different way. So
and it affects
just
your
before,
family in different ways too.
yeah, just before you do your tone, Steffi actually brought up a really good idea. If you guys want to set a place for your loved one that's passed, and literally put it on a paper plate and then bring it to somebody that's homeless, so this way her meal doesn't go to waste. Her meal or his meal is actually helping someone else. That's a really great idea. I like that.
You will find things that are moved, electricity, energies, things that are going on.
Yeah.
That they will send messages that they're around, or the room temperature will change.
Right.
All right, I'm supposed to do a little one. Oh, we got many powerful people. I got Buddha here with me. I'm hearing somebody's energy screaming, so they're good. They're releasing that pain.
Good thing she doesn't have on her headphones for that one.
No, my headphones are not working today.
She might have went, whoa! Now, is another idea. We've talked about the actual loss. What if... there's got to be stuff out there that, I mean, there's not just loss around the holidays. There's also family drama. Oh, my God. Has anybody out there... She jumped out of her skin. Oh, yep. See, she must have headphones on.
I know.
So, what about the family drama? It's always, no matter what you do to set the perfect Thanksgiving dinner, going back in time here and you get everything all set and all right and everything else, there's always got to be one individual that doesn't know how to keep the trap closed. I swear to God, every time. You know, but if you look back on it, it's kind of funny now, even though it wasn't funny then. Like my husband with the spatula, or the fact that it's much. Mary, I love you to death, but sometimes when she words things, it just comes out all jumbled up. But that's just who she is. So I've gotten used to that aspect of her. But there's always family drama at the table. So we need to find some way to help recommend a way for you guys not to hold on to the drama. We need you to release it.
One of the things I want to say, and this has made sense because of both of my sisters, and it was funny because I read that article and I posted it on my LinkedIn. It's like people that are brought up with trauma, they either turn into be the narcissist, which is like the negative, lower, weaker type of personality, or like Susan and I and a bunch of you, we turn out to be the empaths. And negative people, like Susan was doing a reading on my sister, you know, because she had to be center of attention all the time. Actually, both of them did. And it's the negative people, you guys got to remember this and lock this in your brain. Negative people need drama like oxygen. So they will cause, they will have a problem or a solution and create it into a problem. They will have to turn it around to be center of attention. They will have to create the negativity so that the attention, even though it's negative, will be on them. And that's why I said that's their reality. You should not pay into it.
Yep.
You know, walk across the room.
Right.
Or just in your mind. That's their reality.
Exactly.
And so don't let their drama affect you. And that's why Susan and I are like, we've learned to live at peace in the chaos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, literally, we kind of call each other almost every night when we get a chance. And it's earlier her time than it is mine. But, you know, it's a good venting session back and forth with everything that's going on. But they just told me, I just had the guides tell me they want to help everybody build the energy up through your tones, my flute. So what do you say? You guys, take 2 minutes, get something. Get a musical instrument, tone along with Marcy, get some drums. Let's get this universal positive thing going on so everybody can have a pleasant holiday. And that's why I brought up the negative. I brought up the negative to let you guys know that everybody does have negative, including me. But think of it this way. I'm not going to have to do dishes this year. I'm getting taken out to eat. That's a good thing to me.
Well, and that's what I said. You know, you got to look at the more that we manifest the things, the more we're grateful for.
Right.
You know, and I'm going to have a fantastic Thanksgiving with Christine.
Exactly. And when I move, I'm going to have my dog. I'm going to see everybody that knows, that listens to the show, knows I have spondylolisthesis. Now, this dog is trained to go outside and in a box in the house. That's what Michelle's mom did for me. Trained him so the dog would do that. So that way, if my back's out, you know, I'm all set. So I want all of you guys out there to grab something. A flute, a drum, something. Let's get this positive energy out there. And of course, Marcy's the leader.
And also, and I also want to tell Susan that I'm honored that I'm the network advisor.
Oh yeah, forgot to tell you guys. Marcy has been the advisor for me for way over a year.
I give her
and it just dawned on me, hey, I wanted to call her the network guru. She doesn't like being called guru, but she technically is the network guru.
Well, and I said that's the reality. I'm not going to call myself it, but if you guys want to call me guru, that's up to you.
Because that's what you are, you're the network guru. You help keep everything balanced. So,
and
that are different. So, this is our new network advisor.
Or I go to other people and I try to unbalance what's going on. But okay, what I want you guys to do is I want you to every day look at the death when you go to sleep and wake up reborn every day. Yep. And your new normal is I am releasing all these old pains. I am being reborn. And that's when I make that sound. That is a birth and a death. I never know when it's coming, so I can't warn you guys.
Know, if that was a heck of a quick birth, the women in the world would have a lot more kids. So, yeah, I know, but we know the truth.
And just look at, this is my new normal. I don't have this person. This person's coming in. Look at it this way. You're going to have to readjust to new normals all the time.
Yeah, look at me. I was never allowed to do anything wacky with my hair because my husband didn't like it. So now I dye my hair and I look at him and go, yeah, I got it purple.
Normal. You know? And this is our new normal. And so, and I could feel, oh good, I could feel the energy releasing. Like this big block of energy just like connecting. It's really neat to do the readings on the radio on a weekly basis.
Yeah, you know, and this is what it was about. The sad had to come out to make you guys understand that you're not alone. So you could get it out there, even if you just wrote in, or even if you're just thinking about it. Now, let's get some positiveness on. Let's get this band, and we're calling this Marcy's band. We're calling this the Guru's band. Just because I said.
This is what, you know, I looked at it, and I was telling Susan that I was looking at the stats. It's like 2,800 people are listening. And so the more we get that collective, and the more you release that lower dense energy of the sadness, the more you ascend, the more you raise your vibration.
Okay, my foot's right.
And the more you release, and then more manifestation possibly could come, so you're not stuck in that same loop over and over again. All right, I'm going to hit the tones. I know Susan's ready to go. I had to say that so you guys could release all this. Dance, draw, paint.
Let's go, people. Let's get this all going and send it out to the universe and everybody that needs it.
You know, the more we're on the right side, the emotional, then the more that they're healing. All right, write stuff out, burn it.
Uh-oh, she's getting ready.
Okay. That was a good one, Susan.
I'm sorry, what? That was
That
definitely.
was a good one, Susan. That one I heard, Susan. Why are you laughing?
I don't know. It feels good to help everybody release what is going on. Oh, you can just. Oh, that's okay, Gabrielle. When you go home and you listen to this, just pick up anything. You can pick up a flute. You can literally. You got this little wheel thing going. Hey, you got this. You can do that. You can, listen to this. The kids will think you're weird and they'll leave you alone for a couple minutes. You can drum along too. Have a blast. Get it out.
Hey, you guys, I want to tell you a story because Louisa and I have been on this journey now. I lived with Louisa when I was pregnant with Laura. It was like a cosmic meeting with meeting her. I talked to her. I was hoping that she would show up, but she's in New Mexico, but now she's in Fresno. Her family's in the fire, and our hearts go out for the fires.
Yes, anytime.
And the whole energy on that. The earth, California just seems to be doing this purification energy. But Louise and I were up in the Oakland Hills, and this is why we wrote my book, because of these stories. And Louise and I were working out stuff, and so I said, let's go up in the Oakland Hills where nobody could hear us, and we could scream.
Huh.
And so we're up in the hills, and we're screaming. All of a sudden, this guy came out of the bushes to ask us.
Uh-oh.
You think you're in the middle of the woods and nobody can hear you, or you're in the woods, and somebody can, and that's what my stories with Louise and I are. Is we go through these crazy stories, and we're still always laughing because she's had to go through all this stuff too. And it's just, you're healing when you're laughing at the situation.
Exactly. That reminds me of something. I think I've seen this in a movie, but it's a really good idea because I went to go do it once. I live not too far from an airport, not a major one, just a small airport. So there's like a ramp. You know how when the planes go and they take off and they're taking up? Well, there's always an area as the planes take off that you can actually sit underneath.
Right,
I did. I went there, and I was so angry at the world when my husband was getting really sick and stuff that I took some time, and it felt so good. I started laughing because it felt so good. So literally, as the plane is up over my head and all you hear is the plane, I could scream at the top of my lungs and nobody could hear me. Literally, and that's like a way to vent and just like get it all out there.
And go underwater and scream. Just get that energy out. And
exactly.
I like to think that in Bernie, and even I was reading about Bashar, he says everything is energy. Write everything out. Write even if you're halfway there. The more we get this stuff out, the more that it's not in us. And that's why I always joke around, like I talked about the one that I worked on during the week, because she's afraid of starting conflict. And so that's why I jumped in with her and helped her out,
Right.
And I knew I needed to, and I wanted to, and I love her and the whole thing. And Susan helped with her too, and and really did too. And I go, you always joke around, I'm fine. No, you're not. I'm fine.
Yeah,
no, I'm not.
I give you the definition of fine, but this is a family show, so I can't.
And so we got to the back corner where she was laughing again, but just that energy. I could feel the black explosions releasing out of all you guys, because the more we release, the more that positive energy comes, and we will attract that different positive energy with us, with the people in the situation. I gotta hit another tone. God, they're coming in really strong.
High and low, honey. High and low.
I'm getting high. But look at this. All of a sudden, my head just started waving.
Yeah, she's the Stevie Wonder look, and when I channel, I look like one of those dogs in the back of a car that goes like this all the time.
Well, what was funny is, like, last week, I was told to have the sea salt to do a cross. Not necessarily religious cross, because Susan and I don't do religious crosses.
No.
No, I said, they gave me a vision of the cross. You know, and so what I read about Christ saying he was doing north, south, east, and west.
Yeah, well, I did the cross, and then I added my own touch. I did the Celtic cross, which is on my back.
I have my Celtic cross, my big one.
Oh, mine's on my back.
Yeah, it's in the back, and then I put my mom's compact mirror on because we did it on the table, so the animals and my son. And I did like a little bit of the 4 elements on it, where I put water, I put sea salt in the water, and I was doing it about my work. And this spiraling energy came out. And then I did another one with what happened to my friend.
Right.
And purified the energy with that.
Right.
With the sea salt. And I lit the candle, and you can see, because it's like my friend Raven sent me like how candles move. There's all different reasons for it.
Yeah, I don't think I've read that one yet.
Yeah, I'll send you the thing on
yeah.
Actually, I'll post it. Of what Raven said. When it goes left, it means this. When it goes right, it means this. And when it goes forward. And I've done different things. Like I did my sister. We did the thing with my mother, and there was like this black smoke coming out.
Ooh.
And so it is energy, you know, as far as the 4 elements. Sea salt is a purifier. So 2 friends of mine said you mix the sea salt with cinnamon and mint, and the sea salt, the cinnamon and the mint go together. The sea salt's a purifier. She had me do one as to liquid with water with the cinnamon and the mint. And so I spray it around my room, and I also do it with the sea salt. And you got like a big bag, and you mix it all together.
Oh, yeah.
And then you sprinkle it, and you purify your rooms. And that's what I was telling Susan she should do with her rooms.
Yeah, I've got a mixture that I've put together for years that I utilize. So, but I like that one. There's certain things that generation I've been taught. So, and that's cool. I like how there's like different things. Like certain things it's like, okay, yeah, what the heck, I'll try that. And other things are like, well, I don't know, so I wait, but then I usually end up trying them, so.
Well, the thing with the sea salt is I got 2 conflicts, because one is like generational with her godmother, the other one is with the back thing, and she goes, oh, you're not supposed to mix the sea salt with the cinnamon and the peppermint, because one is getting rid of negativity, and the other one, and then like a week later, you put it in your room and you sweep it out.
Exactly.
And then sweep it out. And it is all energy. You do it in corners, you know, and you can find out like vinegar and water something. But I'm going to hit the tones. But I wanted you guys to try that. Just sprinkle sea salt or make crosses and purify the energy. And now that Susan's moving stuff around in her house, they also say you move the energy because stagnant energy is behind furniture or they're in corners. And so you open up the door.
Maybe that's why I rearrange my house all the time.
Yeah.
I'm constantly rearranging. Used to drive my son Bo nuts. He'd come in, and a funny story before the tone. He would come in from school, and he'd go to sit on a couch, a chair that used to be there. The chair wasn't there. Did he look? No. He plopped it right on the floor. Poof! I was like, oops. You did it again? Yes, I did. I just thought of that.
Sage yourselves. Clean your aura. Get some sage. Clean the house.
Not just sage. Use sage. Sage actually helps with certain energy, but also frankincense and myrrh help.
Right.
Yep, so.
Being brought up Yugoslavian, I didn't understand any of this stuff, but it was like the priest would come in because my dad was religious on that. And I didn't know, I was never explaining any of this stuff, but we would have the priest come in and bless the house. And I remember the little chime thing with the, you know, and I'm
Yep.
like, oh, and I'm like,
Wait, hold on. I have no idea what they said.
I know. All right, so let's hit it. It's like I don't know if you didn't hear my Celtic cross behind me, because I have so many international things. My grandfather on my mom's side was Scottish, and my mom's mom was English. They're like, you need to get Celtic things in your room. So my son and I went to the Celtic fair, and I got this huge black and white tie-dye Celtic cross. And you know, and so as I'm closing my eyes, I'm seeing the energy of it, you know, penetrating through it. And below that, I have one of my altars where I did the 4 elements. And the water. And the sea salt.
Uh-oh, I feel a low one coming.
Well, I just had a release. How are we doing on time? Because it looks like we're almost...
Well, we got time for one more.
One more, okay. Yeah, Susan...
I feel a low one coming. I don't have the right flute for that yet.
Well, and they told Susan that she's supposed to do the high note and the drumming, whether you guys can hear it or not.
The low note.
Focus.
Hey, I'm only going by what I'm told.
I know. Well, and we have no choice because there's times I used to fight my guys and they will say things, have me give things until I do what I'm supposed to do. And even when I was at the casinos, they wanted me to do high because I had lessons on letting go. And Abby would go, you're arguing with them, you're not supposed to. You know. I'm like, but I don't want to do max bet. And I sit there and in my mind I'd have arguments with them at the casinos, and Abby's like, you shouldn't, so I just give up. So Susan just does what she's supposed to do. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna hit the tone. I thought I was supposed to do that release sound, and then I got this no. Also, you guys, I want to tell you, as you raise your vibration and the frequency, because these are all notes, and every inch of your body, diseases also have sounds. Yeah. So the lower sounds, so when I work on people, I will hear the lower sounds coming out. And as you raise your vibration, either people start arguing with you because you're mirroring their energy back to them, or they're not going to come to you at all. And this is why the awakened people are ostracized from their family. Their family does not want to be reflected back. So it's just easier to ignore those people, you know, as to what's been going on. So as you guys are changing your energy, hopefully you're doing this before Thanksgiving, you will shift your energy so people will respond to you differently.
Right. We just got that the drumming actually made the tones go through each chakra point at the same time you were doing it. So that's
because
cool.
And I have my drum, but I'm doing the tones. Because you guys, and the drums, that's the survival level. That's the base chakra. And that's why they said, when I was watching Ancient Aliens, it's like the shamans use the drums for rhythm and repeat. And the different drums bring up different energy chakras that are going on.
Right.
And so I'm just feeling explosions. Are you guys feeling lighter?
How are you feeling out there before we go to break? And then after we go to the break, you guys are going to be able to call in at 563-999-3002. Or you could just continue to text away. It's up to you. Yeah, she felt the heartbeat of Mother Earth.
Who did?
Shana.
Oh, well, you said she.
Sorry, Shana. Hi, Shana. Sorry. You know, I had to start the show off serious just because I was told to. So now that we've been through the sharing of all the situations, now let's heal them. You know? But we are actually have to go to a break. So we're going to be right back right after these messages. Hi.
Well, a lot of times I'll do the tones, especially like in private sessions. I'll do the tones, and then I have to. It's like letting the bodies heal.
Exactly.
And then, like maybe about 5 minutes, I'll talk or whatever's going on between that, so that the body can rebalance the energy. And so you guys let this energy resonate, let it rebalance, take your power back, own those energies, mourn over what coulda, shoulda, woulda been. Because the more we mourn the coulda, woulda, shoulda been, then the more we can empower and start living instead of existing.
Exactly. But we're actually going to be right back right after these messages from our sponsor. And again, if you'd like to become a sponsor for the ATU Network, just go to atunetwork@gmail.com. If you would like a private session or a private reading, you can go right to Awakening the Unknown. You will find Marcy available on there, as well as me and a couple of other readers. Her books on recommended readings are always there on our list too. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Coming right back with more of Awakening the Unknown after a quick message from our sponsor. This episode has been brought to you by Crystal Expectations. Crystal Expectations is located at 854 Brock Ave in New Bedford, Massachusetts. They're also located on the web at crystalexpectations.org. Crystal Expectations has been in the business for 30 years. The owner, TJ Gomes, is an expert on crystals, feng shui, and a practitioner for 40 years. Their reader, Dr. Gary Gomes, is a well-known Vedic astrologer and Swami. Both are Reiki masters, and all kinds of predictive services are offered, such as love, career, and health. And low-cost remedies are provided. They have jewelry and statues of deities from all religions, incense, candles, books, and other items reasonably priced. So visit Crystal Expectations, located at 854 Brock Ave in New Bedford, Massachusetts, or on the web at crystalexpectations.org.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Did you miss us? Did you miss us?
I wanted to apologize. I got so much into the show with Susan, I realized that I was like kind of in the shadow, and it wasn't until the last few minutes I'm like, oh, I need to turn the light on so people can see me, because we got so much focused.
Yeah, and that happens sometimes. I mean, the Healing Sundays, it's you never know what's going to happen with us. You really don't. You just don't know, because it depends on. We try to take. Hi, honey. Welcome back. What we try to do is take some of our personal experiences and try to let you understand that even though this is what we're going through, this is our calling. This is what we do.
Well, and other people that we worked on, but we don't give the names out of respect, because there's always stuff going with us on during the week. And whether it's us or people in situations, like, during the week, I wasn't on the show and some stuff happened and I went into gear and that affected other people. And sometimes these people come off with doing readings.
Well, what it is it's everybody is new, but we had some shows and we had some good times, and it was a very, very, very busy week, but it's things will be cut down for the holidays. I just want to remind you guys that Thursday on Thanksgiving we will not have a show, so don't cry. We won't be here Thursday. It is Thanksgiving, but I might put something together for Wednesday the night before. I haven't really decided yet. Or if I'm not really busy, depending on Joe, because everybody's got kids getting out half a day early and has all these things actually happening, so I wasn't really sure what to do with that. But just don't forget to stay tuned. You'll be able to find out under the event page. But Saturday on the 24th, we have Stephen coming on. He is an alien specialist, and he actually come up with a code to figure out the cross circles, and guess who's coming up? Yes, baby, come on. Mama.
Well, okay, you're going to show yours, I will show mine.
He grabbed me, and
right,
he's like, Mama.
Hey, Susan?
Yeah.
What?
He's looking for it. Nope, you don't like the low ones. Off he goes.
Hey, you guys, I wanted to tell you, I wrote to Ellen, and I'm trying to get us out there, but I know she loves animals, and I know she loves music.
Yeah.
And I have an old video. If you guys ever want to go on my Cosmos, I have my Tony with Sugar, which is my dog, which you just saw. And I sent her a video of Tony with Sugar.
Yeah.
Because I know she meditates and I know she's very spiritual and got good energy. And so I wanted to have it where it didn't sound like a very self-centered thing, and that I stated that I've worked with animals.
Oof.
And and I told Susan she needs to take the clip of the cat. Maybe she could even take this one. But you know, does she work with the animals, have the AT kind of double whammy her? But I know Susan's like busy, so when she has time.
That brings up a really good point here. Marcy's tones don't just work with humans; they actually work with your four-legged loved ones as well, or two-legged if you have birds, I guess. So,
and they know.
Yeah, so she does really good as with that, because my cat Sammy is what you would call a special needs kitty. So he will be a kitty for the rest of his life, but that's okay. I don't mind. So, but he's a good kitty, and it's a really good avenue, especially for those out there that your animals are part of your family, like they are with me. They're members of my family, literally. So, and they have their own little beds and toys and everything.
If you look at when I first started doing the videos, and my tones have changed through the years, as I continually working on myself. I did my first tones at the Truckee River and Lake Tahoe. I live in Reno. And you can see that the wind will start blowing and the energy of it. Or I'd be Skyping with Gayatri, who lives in India, which is a 12 hours difference. So it would be like 9 p.m. my time, 9 a.m. her time. And there will be a bunch of birds outside chirping. You know, the different animals will be responding to it. I've worked on, like what I was explaining to Ellen, I had a friend and she had a rescue dog, and the dog would literally push me down, and it was like a little Toto dog, and put his paw on my mouth for me to do healing work on it. It's all energy, it's all frequency, it's all the earth. And what I told Elohim, and what I wanted, my plan that I wanted to do was go around videotaping the earth and the tones, and because healing those layers of the painful. Like we're having the California fire, and there are times I've done drugs with Michael, you know, only a couple of times, but the journey that I've had with him off and on, he was very aware, he was very in tune, and we were up in the Oakland Hills, and we were driving, and literally behind the rock, and he's been on his own since he was 12, and has had a lot of experiences. There was a sound behind the rock, and I go, what is that? Because we're, you know, and that has got me aware, you know, the different things that are going on. I don't do drugs. It makes me more aware. I did start off smoking pot with Don and Bill. That started with the telepathy in my journey. It just makes me more aware and antisocial. I'll feel the energy, and I'm like, no, and I can't do anything because I'm in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
So with this weird sound that we both heard, he's like, what is that? Because we pulled over. And I go, oh, it's the earth in pain. 2 weeks later, we had the 1989 fire in the Oakland Hills.
Ah.
And, you know, and that's what I'm like saying, a lot of farmers burn their crop. Maybe this is what's happening with the earth now. You know, California fires, as painful as it is.
Yeah.
Earth, you know, these floods, the fires, you know, the elements that are going on of purification with what's been going on with the misuse of energy, power, whatever it is that's going on that's happening. And I feel for them all, but I feel for the earth also.
Yeah. So if any of you guys would like to help donate, I know the Red Cross is a good place to donate. They do help with the fire relief victims and those that have lost everything due to the fire. So it's a good place to start. It's actually the Red Cross. But getting back to animals, how I came across Sammy is extremely weird. But, well, normal for me, weird to others. But I went to go visit my adopted daughter, Lisa. She had a pregnant cat. I had no intentions of getting another cat, because I already have my mother's cat, which she couldn't have anymore because she's afraid to trip over him on her walker and stuff, or run him over on her scooter. So, literally, I got her cat's Buddy, which she gave to my husband. So that ended up being his cat. And I go and I sit down, I'm on the couch, and everybody that knows me knows that I do communicate with animals. So the cat just walked up to me pregnant. Only you can't go next to a pregnant cat. Cat walked up to me, looked right up at me, and said, yep, there's a black and white one in here for you. It's a gift from Joey. And this is right after my husband had passed. And the weird thing is, Sammy was born with a heart, white heart on his chest.
Oh.
So, and that's how I ran across Sammy. So, yeah, we both work with animals in our different ways. I'm more like communicating. Marcy is much better at the healing aspect of that. So,
Well, she picks up my dog that had passed a few months ago. She's like, Sonny's behind you. Sonny didn't like my tones, and even through a channeling, they said that, you know, they think your dog is nuts. But my dog also felt like it was his duty to literally clean my aura.
yep.
And animals could smell things we can't. And so he would have a serious look on his face. He was a 40-pound keto chow. And then Susan would go, "Oh, your dog is behind you."
Yeah.
Wagging his tail. And when my dog was in the middle of passing, it was like my son and I, we went through this the week before he was graduating from high school. I was like, "Please don't let Sonny die now." And he would collapse. And I also predicted my friend Teresa's dog. I said the legs, and Teresa's like little dog was huge. And the dog, you know, she was able to take him to the vet. And I didn't know I was picking up the energy on that. So what happened was my dog kept on collapsing. And he would go to my son's room or he'd go to my room. And so I was able to get paid, and we went to the vet. And so his passing was peaceful.
Yeah.
Because they do have trauma. They do have energies that are going on. And so Susie goes, "Oh, your dog is happy." He's like, you know, he's free, he's running around, you know? And so it is all animals. And animals do pick up energy that's going on. They will communicate. I mean, my dog, I would see the visual of, like, put the blanket on my lap. So
right.
The cat will go on there. They will communicate whatever it is that's going on.
Huh.
And
yeah.
I've heard stories about... sometimes they end up reincarnate, and so there was one cat that got stuck, I think, in a fence, and he got a hunchback. It ended up being born again as a kitten with a hunchback. So we have our carryovers of our lifetimes. I guess the animals have ours.
Right.
So both of the Sugar was a rescue dog. Princess, my 17-year-old cat, was on the way to the SPCA. I intervened on that one. And rescued her.
Huh. Nice. Yeah, I mean, the first cat that I got was a tiger cat, orange tiger cat. Should have known better. Literally follows my daughter around like a little puppy dog. I swear to God, waits in the window for her, and she'll go to the bathroom and look at Lucky, and Lucky goes, "Okay," and comes with her. She can call this cat. Literally. Call this cat follows. Off he goes to his mother. And then he sits there and he puts one paw on either side of her and hugs her like this all the time. So it's so cute.
Well, and they have their personalities also. It's like, this is another story with my boss. Her 3 kids, her boyfriend, they were all home. And so I let them move in. Another story where, what are you going to do? I wasn't worried about them. They gambled a lot. But the kids, one was 3 and 5. And so we have a 2-bedroom house. And this is part of what my daughter was upset about. We let these people in these dire situations move into the house. And so she had her 2 cats. I let them, and they pretty much bumped my cat out. Mm-hmm. My cat was homeless for 2 years and would not talk to me. I would call her. She was mad. They do have their personality. Now she's on my lap all the time. Years later, I'm not going to get another animal because I figured she's gone through enough stress. But, they do have their opinions.
Oh, yeah. Like, Sammy will literally, and that's when I picked him up. He's literally like, "Hey, I'm here." And he's pulling up my jeans saying, "Pick me up."
Right, Sugar does that with the chair. He's like, scratching, and they're always on me. I gotta hit another tone. I don't know if we're releasing stuff because we can mourn over and be sad about our animals too.
Yeah, exactly. Of course we can. Animals are not just animals; are part of our family.
Right, and they know it. And they will give their opinions on if you.
Oh, definitely.
or feel the energy or whatever's going on. All right, I don't know. I think things are surfacing on people, so maybe it's like the animals want it. Are we doing this hand thing?
Yeah, I have no idea. They told me to grab my crystal and put my hand up. I just listen.
Okay.
I
understand. All right. So you guys may feel your animals around, you know, just don't think it's your imagination.
You had that thing again. I was like, which does that?
And I can never hear it. We go through this all the time. I'll hear my deep sighs on stuff. All right, now I got to hear a low one. So are you guys releasing the sadness from your animals? You know, and letting that energy go? And a lot of times they come up in the spiritual realm and they help us.
You know, and sometimes they can come back.
Oh, I know. That's what I said, the reincarnation, like I said, with the bad back.
Yeah, because the Otis, the dog that I'm getting when I move, he was supposed to be mine for birth, and I literally took a picture. I took a picture with me of the dog Sammy that me and my husband had that had passed. Sammy passed from seizures. Samantha. That's why I named my cat Sammy.
Yeah,
Samuel. The dog has the same mark in the front that Sammy had. So it was like, wow. Not Sammy my cat, Sammy the old dog. And boy, this is get confusing.
Well, my sister, you know, when I was going through stuff from possibly the kids being taken away, and my sisters don't have any kids, my sister was convinced that she had two dogs named Angel and Zeus. Then she was convinced that her other dogs reincarnated and called them also Angel and Zeus. I don't know. But that was her thing going on. I feel like bursts of energy coming in, and I'm hearing healing the earth. You know, that's going on. I don't know why I still keep on seeing that Celtic cross in front of me. See, again, I heard the flute, and I had to look to see if Susan was playing. Nope, Susan's not playing. It's coming out of the microphone.
I was told to light an incense, so I did.
So how are you guys feeling? Are you feeling lighter? Are you feeling more alive? Because
Hi, Aaron.
that's what happens with the guys. They don't deal with drama. They don't deal with the energy. And so the more we raise our vibrations,
Yep.
let go of these old energies, the more they can contact us.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you want me to hit another tone?
Hold on. Gotta fix the flute.
Okay.
It's an Indian flute, so you always have to adjust.
Are you ready?
Got it!
Okay. I'm getting the vortex. Oh, you were talking about the crop circles? I was watching that on Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
I was texting with Sean about the same time, and they were talking about how, like, the way that there's 3 nodes on the crops, and they bend a certain way, and there's a white light energy that they do within 3 seconds.
Right.
And I also read, because I put all these pieces together, that when the guys come in with codes, they come in with sounds. And with the crop circle, they have sounds.
Right.
And so they were doing one from the astronauts had sent them, I think 1979, the binary, and then they did a crop circle, I think 81, 82.
Right.
The same one. So they are there for a reason. They are to give us messages that are going on.
I was trying to remember a date.
I know. I can't. I just remember watching them, and then I was texting with Shauna on it, and I'm trying to remember that other one. They were doing so many with the pictures, the sounds, the energy, the white balls that they do within 3 seconds.
Exactly. What it is
the vibration.
Yeah, it's just I am the type of person, I don't believe alone in this universe. I really don't. I never have. So when it comes to the paranormal, I find UFOs and the aliens and different dimensions and string theory, I find all this extremely fascinating. And it's something that I've always been interested in. Yeah.
What I saw was, and I thought about you because you're in Massachusetts, is they were talking about like 1790. There was a triangle.
Yeah, that was over Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hours for me.
I know, but I'm still like the energy, because you're in such that area.
I'm in the armpit of the Cape.
Well, I know, but you're still in Massachusetts.
That's the easiest way to explain it.
Well, but you're still in that whole, and they were talking about the natives, and the natives, you know, with the aliens and the reading and the whole thing on that, and so it's all that vibration is coming into the U.S. and Christopher Columbus was supposed to be Saint Germain and coming into all the vibrations of how this all started and bringing in the codes, and the codes is like communicating with us, and so that's why they want us to work with this show. They love and respect us. They know that we're coming from white light energy.
Right.
If they didn't feel like it, they wouldn't be coming in doing the tones, releasing old energies as to what we're supposed to do. As you know, like Susan and I said, when I do my tones, they'll start hearing the words coming out of the tone.
Yeah, and then they say, grab a flute. I still feel like you're a one-man band over here. They tell me, grab the flute. No, grab the singing bowl. No, grab the drum. No, get the crystal. And it's like, all right. So.
Well, and that's like, you know, I asked Shauna because I sent the thing to Ellen, and hopefully she'll be able to watch our show. I told her it's like, but Shauna's like, and this was like it did last year with the dog, and I did some light codes, and so I don't know what they're going to think about that, because it was, I was doing what I was supposed to do, and Shauna's like, you sound like the singing bowls.
Yeah, and we actually have, I do like, it's my only one, and I know every singing bowl is different, depending whether it's brass or a brass, but I prefer the brass sound. We have a question in the chat room. And so Erin actually got her first pendulum. The first thing that I recommend, myself, is I always, cleanse it with the incense. But I've programmed my pendulum up and down as yes, side to side is no, and a circle is always I don't know. I use my pendulum to find missing objects in my house. That's what I do.
We were talking about that a couple days ago.
Yeah, actually we did, and the question came up in the chat room, which is funny. And that's what I use my pendulum for. I mean, literally to the point where my son can't find something, and he's Mom, grab the pendulum. So, and then I have this like little map drawn out of the house, and it'll tell me, kind of like scrying with it, tell me whereabouts it could be located. So yeah, so it's actually my only advice is just make sure it has your particular energy on it, and just program it. Just constantly say up and down is yes, up and down is yes, up and down is yes, until it goes yes. Program it. You hold it literally like this. Try to keep your elbow on the counter so you're not accidentally moving it until you get used to it. And then I wait, and then I'll tell it to stop, stop, stop. It stops. And then I'll say side to side is no, side to side is no. I mean, if you prefer to do clockwise and counterclockwise for yes and no, that's also cool. So either way, I literally use it to find missing objects within my house. Is what I do.
There's some that I need to say because my guides are retelling me this because I want to say sometimes when people do readings on people, it affects their family members. It affects the energy that's going on, whether it's negative or positive. And so if readers are not accountable for the reading, then they just go do the reading and move on. But what they say affects the person, and it affects the family's person. I mean, like an example that I had, I did a tarot reading for somebody, and I don't pick up deaths. I know other people pick up deaths. I would be with somebody, and they're like, oh, they're going to die soon. I don't do that. My friend Louisa does, and some other people do. But I did a tarot reading. I said, somebody may have a heart attack, or your father. And I did the reading. I moved on. I bumped into this woman like 10 years later. And she said, I carried that grudge about you predicting my father for 10 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes they will carry on these things. And so, yes, we want to do these readings, but take it with a grain of salt. Everything can change in your future. You know, do not blame yourself because depending on the reader or the energy that's going on. And Susan and I had that discussion of whether I should say it or not. But my guides really emphasizes I needed to say that because sometimes these readings, and this is why I get really pissed off at egotistical readers.
Yeah,
I get pissed off at greedy ones.
Yeah, I just want to know, Erin, did that answer your question about the pendulums?
Oh, okay.
Not sure. I have to wait for her to answer. We're on a delay.
Yeah. So I want.
But I do know that Erin is the one that's been having an issue with her knee.
Well, she's been going through a lot.
Her leg. Her poor thing, yeah. Yes, it did. Good, honey. But like I said, if you draw like a map out of your house, because you know how it is, it's like you get these things that like disappear all over the place, especially when you have kids. Or husband, when he was alive, who couldn't find his socks in his sock drawer. That happens. So, yeah, that's basically all I use the pendulum for, is to find missing objects. That's it.
I did try a pendulum, and I had a book on the pendulum, and there are some books that will have you give a lot of guidance on more questions, on it, or more diagrams to ask. I just couldn't get into but I know they are accurate.
Yeah.
You know, and I still have my pendulum floating around. I just don't use it.
Good for her. She took her energy back, and her home is clean.
Oh, good.
Very good, honey. Very
and
good.
They can communicate. When you have lower energy in your houses, they can't communicate with you. And this is why, like, I will see guys, like, 3 feet away from a person.
Right.
And as I clear out their energy more and more, they're able to come forward.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they'll start feeling buzzy, ascension, energies that are going on. I got to hit another tone. I think that we're doing a lot of therapy. Are you guys feeling a lot of stuff rising and releasing?
Well, I'm getting different people coming forward, so I'm trying to catch up with what everybody said now that I can see.
Well, no, it's interactive. And so you guys are asking questions. And that's why, as healers, we want you to ask questions. We want you to ask us what our experiences are. And that's why I said with a lot of healers and readers, I don't work with them. I'm like, I don't know where they are psychologically. I don't know where their background is. I don't know where their energy. And so a lot of times they can do more harm than good. And so unless their energy is clear, and this is why I've got, and Susan and I have the finesse of the energy of the people that we're with because we know who we are.
We got Steffi, who's really good at what she does. Yeah, and then we've got Michelle, who just makes the world laugh. Even at her worst moment, she literally makes the world laugh. So when I get together with Marcy, instead of being the mommy figure for Michelle, I get to be the little kid.
And we need to have the balances with people that are going on because we're brought up to be the rescuers or whatever's going on. That's why
but we as individuals, we're not perfect either. You know,
No,
nobody.
and
There's no such thing as a perfect person, and that's the way my mom raised me. There's no such thing as perfect. So if somebody says, "Well, I'm perfect," yep, there's a lot of stuff wrong behind those doors. Reminds me of a song my son used to play. Well, who was it? Some Eminem cleaning out his closet, so to speak. Some rapper he listened to. Eminem. You know, when I say Eminem, everybody out there is going to say, chocolate, that sounds good. No, it's name of a rapper. Okay. Eventually home and off the phone. So, missed everything so far. We'll watch again in replay. How is everyone today? That's from Gabrielle, which is awesome. Erin Gray says, ever since I took my energy back, my life has come back to where it should be. Very good for you, honey. Missing family members came back. Missing friends checked in. That's very good. My art is picking back up, which she's a very talented artist as well. Yes. My readings are spot on, and even though my heart is still aching at the loss of my dear friend, which I'm really sorry for that, honey, she stopped by to say hi, and she was good, and I'm really good to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that you're doing much better than what you were. Thank you so much for that.
You know, and our hearts go out for you.
Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to say, this is what I wanted to send to Susan about a week ago, because they were talking about ascension. And Susan's always getting hot. And, you know, or we joke around with the menopause energy. And I was reading about, because either when it's cold, I forgot what the cold is, but when we get hot, it's our higher self coming to us with the dense energy. So if you start feeling sweating, and there's times I will smell, because the toxic energy is releasing, and I'll be in the bathtub like, oh, I need deodorant, and then like 30 seconds later it'll disappear. But if you start feeling hot, because what happens is when we're doing the tones and the flute and the drums, I thought it was activating the DNA, and I think it's like Abraham said, or Chiron says, we're releasing our DNA. There are 24 strands of energy that are going on. We use 2, but through the years or lifetimes or whatever's going on. So what happens is we're releasing our DNA. And when we release our DNA, we start getting those images, past lives, and that's why it's multidimensional as far as our body. And you got to listen to what your body is craving, like Susan and her antipasta salad, you know. And there's cravings of it. So you guys are transforming, and we don't know what the degree of the transforming is, but you guys are still coming on, which we love. And so as the tones happen, people may get sick. And a lot of times I tell people, you're detoxing.
Michelle is sick again. I was sick. We missed an event for our charity because I could not get up out of bed. I was literally at my cough was so bad, and so you know, yeah, it happens like that. But yeah. But as far as the hot flashes, I mean, my daughter-in-law, they just moved out yesterday, but literally she would have the heat on and this little heater in her room, because I've got those old the old metal ones in this house. In different rooms, so like the little radiator things.
18th century house she lives in. That's
so that's how old it is. It's like almost the original dinosaur in the basement. And literally, these kids are freezing, and I got a fan on just to go to sleep, and it's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, because I can't. So it's like, oh, no. But then when I was sitting here when we started the show, literally I could almost feel a cold hand right on my leg. When we started the show, so it changes.
And that's how I'll go under the covers, you know, 3 or 4 layers, and my feet are cold. You know, and so it's just, your body is changing, and it's raising its vibration, it's ascending. And we don't know as far as the transformation that you guys are doing. I got to hit into the tone. So it's like a lot of times, Susan and I will be in mid-sentence, and I'll hear this, like they're back, and you know, you guys are done with yours. We're going on to ours. And that's what they do with Council of 9, Council of 12, Arcturians, Andromedans, Buddha, Mary. They all decide who they're going to come in and work through whatever's going on. Oh,
Yeah.
another thing that I thought was really interesting on watching Ancient Aliens, which I wanted to bring up, is they were talking about the ley lines. And the Giza pyramids are like 1,025,000. If you do 25 million of them, they go across Europe. And they've noticed that the spaceships were going in a line. And so they said that there's 3,300 structures on the Earth that are all on the ley lines. And the military was following that, and they're building their stuff on the ley lines. And so if you look at the sound with the stones, and you look at the energy, it's like a generator with what's I want it.
Exactly.
To bring on. And so they found out.
We have about 15 minutes left, and we have Gabrielle here in the chat room who would love a tone for her inner child.
Okay. We're going to do the tone for her inner child. That one I heard.
Heard a little of this, and I didn't even touch it. It was on the. You heard a little of that, huh?
No, I heard the side that I did. And, you know, and so the sounds, as we're releasing more, it's going to the grid of the earth, which is healing. And the codes are coming in, and this is, because you guys are so international, this is all helping the earth.
Exactly.
And this is why we love doing what we're doing. It's
Yeah, you know, that actually brings up another point. Something that just popped in my head that does that. So, if you find yourself getting a lot of headaches, usually what that is that's energy you're not using, is what it's always represented to me, because you're so overloaded with energy, you're not working with your energy enough. Literally, go outside and just put your hands down, put it back into the earth to help the earth actually maintain its balance a little bit, or send it. Literally picture yourself rooting down and send the energy down through the earth when you're rooting a tree.
Go do tones with it. You know, go do tones with it. Go release, because what's happening is the lower carbon energy, the dense, the fear, the shame, the guilt.
Right.
It's heavier, like I call it oil and water, metaphorically. And so as we release the lower dense energy, then the white light, the codes, the energy is coming in. And Susan had a headache, I think, about 2 weeks ago. And so I did the tones to release it. And a lot of times, as your energy is expanding, you will feel heart energies and head energies where you think you're having a heart attack. It's just more oxygen and energy is coming into your body.
Ah. I was just reading a message, that's all.
You look like you're floating in and out of your body.
Yeah, no. I was reading a message, but yeah.
And so you guys release that energy. The tones, do the tones. Sing the tones along with it.
Oh, yeah.
Anything with the right side of the brain. That's what they want us to do. Draw, sing, dance.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can't tone, flute.
Flute.
You know, you want to do the lower ones, do the drums. Just literally, just keep re-listening. And anywhere you're going, we're on iHeartRadio, so you can just keep replaying the show that way if you want.
Or my tones are on Cosmic Cosmos or under Marcy Costage YouTube. So I have it set up, and that's why I said I dug out the one with sugar.
Right.
You know, and there's light codes in that one. And that's where Shauna says it's like you sound like the singing bowls. A lot of those tones are channeled on there.
Right.
Where it's like I'll wake up and I'm like, okay, it's time to do some more. So you guys go through it, listen to it, the headphones, the binaural, the sounds, the frequencies, the 110 hertz, which is allowing them to come to you and releasing what's happening on whatever's going on.
Yes, the 120. That's the relief again, so we still have to figure out how to do that.
Well, the 110 is what I got from the stones,
Right.
again on the ley lines, that they did, and they actually measured the stones and the
Right.
sound, and they were feeling the stuff inside and out.
Yeah.
It's affecting, and who knows what frequencies or hertzes my tones are. But
Yeah, it's difficult because you live so far away, but someday we'll figure out how to do that.
Well, it's just we need to get a third person and one of those little music measurement things on
Yeah.
the, you know.
Because you figure the effect of your tones might be less coming through the internet, like if we're trying to measure it accurately, so I'm not really sure.
No, I think they'll be the same because it's still sound, it's still frequency.
Oh, okay. Somebody would like to know. Oh, please excuse me. I keep burping up stuff now. Yeah. Somebody has, Erin actually has fibromyalgia, friends group. Do you have a tone that would help with a neuromuscular pain?
They said that the diseases, they said that studies that fibromyalgia started in childhood.
All right.
And so, like they said, with Alzheimer's, it's high stress.
Right.
They're going to come in through, but again, it's going to be, it's a tip of the iceberg because working on somebody is much more powerful than you know, the group that's
Right.
going on. I'll hit a note. It's going to go to our heart chakra. I got to do the crystal again, so I'm going to double wham it with the crystal.
Oh, I thought you were grabbing your wand.
No, I've got my 10-pound crystal. I'm hearing her scream. There's an excruciating scream coming out of her, and maybe possibly other people, where that lower energy is coming out. Because remember, every inch of our body has sound, and we need to release it so we get the higher frequency, the lower frequency.
I heard a singing bowl in that one.
I did too.
I wasn't using it.
I know, that's why I'm always looking.
Yeah, I literally heard the singing bowl. It's weird.
I know, but that's why we love doing this.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the black energy coming out, and that stuck energy. What happens is a solid energy. This is why I'm a spirit of a jaguar, and Shauna did that fantastic drawing with the jaguar on my head. Jaguars transmute. Also, like I was talking to Shauna, where I saw like a bunch of snakes when I was doing some cleansing work on me. And I go, Shauna, what do the snakes mean? And she goes, because she's so good at animals and what the animals mean and dreams. And this is why Shauna is so talented at what she does.
Yeah.
Whether it's the drawings, the readings, or her tarot. I've used her years for information. So she told me that the snakes that she felt ate with them, because there were 8 rattles in my right-hand side, she goes, is transmuting old energies.
Naomi Moon, another question. Now they're coming in, and we've got about 10, 11 minutes left, of course. So, I think, let me pronounce this correctly. Nama Moon. Okay. She says that, she's, the sound healing things are actually coming to her. She wants to know if you have any suggestions on how to start doing this.
It's a muscle. Anything to do with psychic, go listen to my tones, tone along with it, release energies that are going on, and just, it's on the right side of the brain. It hits the serotonin part. Just start toning. I can't sing regularly. A friend of mine that I do readings on, he's an opera singer. I can't sing. It's a muscle. So just practice it. Listen to your guides. I started having the angels start singing to me way before I started doing this. You might hear sounds, try to mimic those sounds.
Marcy, you got 2 Facebook pages.
What do you mean there's 2 Facebook pages?
No, 2 YouTube pages.
Oh, are you talking about to get the information?
Yeah, I'm trying to post it.
KOSMAKS. Sing along with me. The more we tone, the more that we're releasing our parts of our body, which is the 9th level of our DNA.
Alright, I got the right one. The other one is older.
Oh.
You had 2 of them, so maybe you lost track of one?
I don't know.
Yeah. Alright, I got that.
And like I said, I looked on Google under my name because I was doing the whole Ellen thing. And it was like saying I was 20 years old, I was born in 1990. And
yeah,
then they said, you know,
there's another Swanbeck too. There's like, it's really weird. There's another Kimberly Swanbeck. You're welcome, honey. There's another Kimberly Swanbeck because my father had an adopted brother when an adopted or a stepbrother or something. Anyways, he was adopted. No, it was his first wife's. I don't remember. Anyways, his last name is Swanbeck, and the weird thing is he's got a Kimberly Swanbeck, which was my sister's name, so the mail used to get mixed up. And then there is a Suzanne Swanbeck, not Susan, so people get confused. I'm Susan M. Swanbeck, not Suzanne.
The thing that's crazy, I'm not sure if somebody was taking my identity,
yeah,
where it said Marcy Kosich, relative to Marcia Kosich, which is my real name, and then my sister's name, didn't have my other sister's name, and saying I'm 20 years old, I was born in 1990.
You have a kid you don't know about.
Yeah,
just
I know.
kidding.
No, that's not like saying, I'm like, where is this? And this is on Googling my name.
Right.
And oh, I'm 20 years old. But it has the city I grew up in, Piedmont. So it has my information.
Right.
It has me as like 20 years old, and my relative, which is me, I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
Where you guys? So you guys gotta watch the information that's going on.
I'm playing with this alt, and I don't know why.
Because it moves around. It's healing. I've been taking my sea salt baths, and you guys try that cross, which is to do with north, south, east, and west, and block the energy. And I put my mom's compact on top of it. Susan felt the energy when she did. She's like, well, I don't do cross.
I did mine right on my desk because that's where I do a lot of my work.
It'll
on my
purify
desk.
the energy.
Yeah, a lot of it's on my
I
desk.
can feel explosions. Are you guys releasing stuff? Because I'm feeling like these big explosions of energy releasing. And it's helping the ley lines and the grids and the earth. The more we clear out this energy. And my head is spinning.
We got about 6 minutes left.
I know. We're going to see if anybody else. I'm going to hit some more tones. Let you guys release whatever's going on. But like we said, own, release, and let go.
Right.
Because carrying on these grudges, I could carry anger with my sisters, my dad, and I did for a long time. I actually went to Nevada mental health because of the psychological psychosis head games I've been brought up with.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. I've been there. I've been homeless. I've been manipulated. I have been ostracized. I have been, and this is why we're empowering you guys to take back your power, because then that's the best revenge. The best revenge is for you to be happy, because these people want to keep you down, or they're threatened by your power.
I'm putting the cross back up as you talk.
Good for you.
Okay,
so,
there we go.
If people are threatened by you, they're going to keep you down. They're going to try to keep the leverage. They don't want you to be happy. It's like, let's be in the miserable company.
Yeah, you know, it's that, and or it could be something similar to my situation where you're allergic to dust and you're moving and packing, so it's making you sick.
Yeah, well, that too. And the energy's clearing and moving around. I'm going to hit another tone. Feels like it's Mother Mary again. It's going to be sending. I've got my 10-pound crystal again. I'm back in my recliner because the energy is so strong I have to be in the recliner position. Now, Mother Mary says says this is her gift to you for Thanksgiving. So I'm seeing the circle with the cross. And a lot of times I do automatic drawings with sacred geometry, which is what they do. You know, triangles, squares, circles.
Aaron was healing drums in that one.
Yeah, that's what they do. The natives will come in and start drumming.
Aaron, the natives are restless. Just kidding.
Well, they're also healing, you know, the whole energy that's going on. Alright, I gotta hit a lower tone. I don't know if Shauna can help me with this because
she's not on. She went to go make lunch.
Shauna, be right back. But I'm getting spirals, or I'm being told, and this is a DNA energy. The spirals, the two snakes have to do with the energy with the spirals, but I'm hearing the spirals have started.
Yeah, so, snake is earth energy.
Right, and the spirals, you know, and if you that's a Kundalini energy. It starts at the base of your spine.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to the crystalline energy is the white light, which is the Kundalini. So there's a lot of times I'll look like I'm having convulsions. My body will start shaking for a second. But what is happening is the old energies are releasing and the new energies are reconnecting. So if you feel like your body is jerking, go with it. You're not epileptic. Your body is reconnecting.
Yeah.
You know, and those old wirings and those old, like I remember Ben saying that these nettings from other lifetime, they're releasing. So the white crystalline energy, code energy is coming through, which is like what they have on the crop circle.
It's time.
I know. Much love to everybody.
90 seconds.
All right, don't forget, guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to Awakening the Unknown. You can find us on any of the platforms: iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, under the ATU Network. Follow us on Facebook on Awakening the Unknown. You can go right to the website also and look up awakeningtheunknown.com. You will find a list of recommended books where Marcy's books are on there. Also, if you go to the YouTube page, you can also go to Awakening the Unknown YouTube, and you will find Marcy on there as well. All the links are there, and if you'd like a private reading with anybody, you can just go to Awakening the Unknown. It'll lead you directly to everybody's links, and we love you guys.
Love you.
Out.
Do not take other people's personal energy seriously. Do not give them power by feeling affected by them. I wanted to say that so that you take back your power.
Yes. All right.
Love you all.
Peace out.